All right, today we're diving into getting things done, or GTD as most people call it. This is a system that's all about taking the absolute chaos of modern life and turning it into what sounds like a dream, stress-free productivity. Let's get into it. But first, let's just ask the question that's probably on your mind all the time. Why are you so stressed? I mean, really, why is there that constant, low-level buzz of anxiety about all the things you have to do, all the things you have to remember? Well, according to the GTD philosophy, the answer is actually pretty simple. It's because your brain's RAM, its random access memory, is completely maxed out. See, your brain is fantastic at having ideas, but it's absolutely terrible at holding on to them. It's like a computer with barely any memory, and we are overloading it constantly. So this is our first big idea, figuring out why our mental RAM is always so jammed. And here's the kicker. The source of our stress isn't that we have too much to do. Not at all. It's that we're trying to manage everything in the absolute worst place possible inside our own heads. The things jamming up that RAM are called open loops. An open loop is basically anything you've agreed to do but haven't finished. And it could be something huge, like launch that new website, or something tiny, like remember to buy milk. Your brain doesn't see the difference. To your brain, they are all just broken promises, and it will keep nagging you about them at the worst possible times, totally draining your focus. So this is the key takeaway right here. Stress doesn't come from having a lot on your plate. It comes from how we manage it. Or, more accurately, how we fail to manage it. By trying to keep all these open loops swimming around in your head, you've basically designed a system that is guaranteed to fail. Okay, so if our brain is the wrong place to store all this stuff, then what's the right place? The solution requires a pretty fundamental shift in how you think about your own mind, and it all comes down to one brilliant insight. And this is it. Seriously, just let this one sit for a second. Your brain is for having ideas, not for holding them. We've been using our incredible creative minds like a messy, overflowing junk drawer. We should be using them as a workshop. Freeing your brain from the job of remembering stuff is the key to unlocking what it's actually good at. So the solution is to build an external brain. This is just a trusted system. It could be a notebook, an app, whatever, that lives outside your head and holds 100% of your commitments. The moment your brain actually trusts that everything is captured somewhere else, it can finally let go, stop nagging you, and get back to doing the cool stuff like thinking. Okay, I know what you're thinking. That sounds great, but it also sounds like a lot of work. And the good news is, you don't have to build the whole system overnight. You can get a feeling of relief almost immediately just by adopting 3 really powerful habits. Here they are, the 3 pillars that get you started. First, you have to capture everything. Get it all out of your head. Second, you have to define the next action. Figure out what doing actually looks like. And third, you have to use the 2-minute rule, which is a game changer for building momentum. Let's break down that first one. So, habit number 1, capture everything. This starts with what's called a mind sweep. You literally sit down with a piece of paper or open a new document and you just dump everything. And I mean everything that has your attention. Every project, every little errand, every worry. The goal is a complete brain dump. Get all of that stuff out of your head and into one trusted place. Now for habit number 2, and this one is all about clarity. Once you've captured something, you have to define the next action. Now, this isn't the project itself. It is the absolute next physical, visible thing you need to do to move it forward. This, right here, is the reason projects get stuck and we procrastinate, because this tiny step is missing. And here is where that idea really clicks. We put these vague, intimidating things on our to-do lists, like plan birthday party or do my taxes. Of course we avoid them. But the next action isn't plan the party, it's call mom to get the guest list. Do my taxes becomes find the folder with last year's returns. See the difference? Each one is small, specific, and totally doable. This simple shift is how you kill procrastination. And that brings us to habit number 3, which is an absolutely brilliant, simple trick for creating momentum and just clearing out the mental clutter. It's called the 2-minute rule, and it is designed to stop those tiny little tasks from ever piling up. The rule is this. If the next action you just defined will take less than 2 minutes to do, you just do it. Do it right then and there. Don't write it down, don't put it on a list for later, just get it done, now. The logic here is just perfect. 2 minutes is the efficiency cutoff. It would literally take you more time and mental energy to log that task, track it, and review it later than it would to just do it. When you start applying this rule, you get all these quick little wins, and you stop dozens of tiny things from ever clogging up your system. Now, when you start consistently using these 3 habits, you capture everything, you clarify the next action, and you use the 2-minute rule, something remarkable starts to happen. You're not just managing tasks anymore, you're fundamentally changing your relationship with your work. And this is all leading toward the ultimate goal of GTD, this amazing state of peak performance called mind like water.
Imagine throwing a small pebble into a perfectly calm pond. The water responds perfectly. It doesn't overreact, it doesn't underreact, and then it just returns to being calm. That's mind like water. It's a state where your mind is so clear that you can be totally present and give the right amount of attention to whatever's in front of you, whether that's a huge presentation or just playing with your kids.
Now, to keep that clear state, those 3 habits eventually grow into a full system. That means you have a complete list of all your projects. You have your next actions, but they're organized by context, like an @errands list for when you're out or an @computer list for when you're at your desk. You also have a waiting for list for things you've handed off to other people. And, very importantly, your calendar is sacred. It is only for things that have to happen on a specific day and time. And the absolute master key that holds this entire thing together is the weekly review. This is the single most critical part for long-term success. It's a scheduled time every week where you get everything clear and current. If you skip this, your trust in the system breaks down, and your brain will, inevitably, start trying to hold everything in your memory again. You see, the point of all this isn't just about checking more boxes off a list. It's about a huge psychological shift. It's about building a system that's so reliable that you can finally move from a state of hoping you're working on the right thing to a state of deep trust that in any given moment, you are making the best possible choice about what to do with your attention. Which brings us to the end. But the real power of GTD isn't in understanding it, it's in doing it. So I'll leave you with a direct challenge. What is one open loop, one little nagging thing in your head right now that you can close in the next 2 minutes? Think of it, figure out the next action, and if it takes less than 2 minutes, go do it right now and start your journey to a clearer mind.